Alex, thank you for inviting me. It's such a pleasure to be here with Team Microsoft today and experience Altspace VR. I've been playing with the whole environment as a representative of Evenness. We need to know how space is. This participating here, speaking as a keynote speaker, it just makes my day. Love it. So, hi everyone. Hi, amazing you. And when I say amazing, I put AI in the center of it. Everyone here knows what AI is about. We're not to discuss that, but we are to discuss AI and its role in the modern world. My name is Eve Logunova-Parker, and I'm Global Chief Commercial Officer at Women in AI. It is a global nonprofit organization that strives to make artificial intelligence more inclusive for all. Also, I'm the founder and managing director at Evenness. It is a 3D and VR company that specializes in immersive virtual experiences. And when I say immersive experiences, I mean events and learning, training, and to remote teams collaboration and even the prototyping in VR. So for over a decade, I've been working in the field of innovation, growth, and technology across various industries. And diversity and inclusion has always been my North Star. Quote being a dreamer, but I am certain that respect for one another and building solutions that are inclusive and diverse by design are of most importance. So when I saw all these wonderful looks of yours, from skin colors that are natural to blue skin colors of avatars and great outfits, it warmed my heart, seeing that there is diversity, there is inclusion, and you can come as you are, how you want to present yourself. And I would say that the solutions that are inclusive and diverse by design, when I said it's of most importance, I meant that it's, they guarantee that the world of tomorrow's full automation provides everyone an equal opportunity, right? And maybe I'm a dreamer, but I hope I'm not the only one. And seeing so many of you here at AltspaceVR, it definitely makes me believe that we're all in this diversity, inclusion, and AI journey together. So speaking of AI in the modern world, let me change the slides. And I would like to address how innovations of the past define our present. I would like to start with this. The future in the making, and also the importance of diverse data and inclusive AI. So the past that created the present is shown pretty much on this slide. Humanity has always been at the crossroads of innovation. Many talented and driven people have contributed to progress by bringing innovative solutions into fruition, thus advancing what's possible. From the Babbage and Turing machines, Ada Lovelace and Grace Hopper's codes, to supercomputers, machine languages, process automation, robotics, and many other advancements. It all comes as inspiring to me. The fundamental evolution, though, has been powered by dramatic advances in underlying technology. In particular, a symbiotic relationship between data infrastructure on the one hand and machine learning and AI on the other. And now I wish I had Oculus Quest 2, so my hands would be, working, and I would say on one hand and another hand. But now I'm logging in from the browser, and there's another advancement that you can experience VR and environments like this from just connecting from your browser. So the explosive acceleration in the data and AI space is what defines our present. And when I say space, is indeed the use of AI for exploring what's out there. We are not just talking about NASA and their space shuttles and rovers anymore. The use of artificial intelligence is what brings us one step closer to becoming an intergalactic civilization, establishing human settlements on Mars, finding life-crucial resources such as water and energy, and even being able to farm on the moon. Exploration of outer space is at a turning point. NASA's Artemis program, I'm not sure if you heard about it, but I believe you did. It's the program that aims to put 2 people, including the first woman and person of color, on the moon by 2024, just 2 years from now. This hasn't been done since 1972. Then the goal is to establish a permanent lunar settlement that will continue into a Mars settlement later on. On the pictures here, you see the examples of SpaceX and Blue Origin, who won contracts with NASA for the line of work on exploring the Moon and Mars. And Interstellar Lab in the center of the slide, known for their work on climate-controlled biovillages. Also, those villages are known as Mars settlements. So, paying a little bit attention here, you'll probably ask me later on, at this point, it's kind of like out of the blue you're talking about Mars and the Moon. Well, if we pay attention to what these companies are doing, we'll get the perspective of the future that we are building today. So SpaceX, being known for its commercial space flights, is now working on a Starship spacecraft to land the first NASA astronauts on the lunar surface since the Apollo program. Its goal is to reduce space transportation costs to enable human colonization in space as a backup plan in case Earth is destroyed by natural or human-caused events. Let's knock on the wood that it's not to happen, but there are risks, of course. And congratulations to everyone of you and everyone who is directly involved as SpaceX innovation on Earth and beyond is powered by Microsoft Azure. So this is really a great collaboration where the discovery of data and analytics of data and everything that can be found in space to be brought back as intelligent kind of research and overview. That helps us to continue building new solutions and understand what is yet there for us to discover. Blue Origin, on the other hand, aims to make access to space cheaper and more reliable through reusable launch vehicles. A week ago, the company and its founder, Jeff Bezos, announced plans to launch a commercial space station named Orbital Reef by the end of the decade. Yeah, it will take about 10-12 years, but the station will provide customers with an ideal location for conducting cutting-edge research or filmmaking in microgravity. Producing films and making films in microgravity, it becomes possible with being present in space. And they will also include space business centers and hotels, and name it, Airbnbs most probably. Basically, a floating hub for many humans to get closer to progress in their line of space-related work. Now, what fascinates me, in addition to that, is the picture in the center. It's Interstellar Lab. Interstellar Lab, founded in 2018 by a woman, Barbara Bilvisi, who is a former board of advisors, a member of board of advisors to Women in AI. She's no longer a board of advisor because her full attention is on building interstellar labs, villages. So it's bioregenerative villages on the network of closed loop biomes in the Mojave Desert in California, meaning that systems such as water treatment, waste management, and food production are all self-contained. So the experimental biostations are expected to be an important, actually, way to further research on how humans could live in places with exceptionally harsh conditions, such as, well, of course, other planets. It is only one desert at this moment, but they are to continue building in 10 other locations for the next years, and in 10 years from now, to establish a colony or build their biovillages on Mars or on the Moon. Now, this is the future in the making. Let me get back to the present. A lot of today's acceleration in data AI space can be traced to the rise of cloud data warehouses and lake houses as storage and processing at the bottom of the data and AI hierarchy of needs. With figuring this out, the fundamental trend that we see today is that the world is becoming more mad day by day, with human and machine interactions driven by machine learning, artificial intelligence, and data, therefore mad. Data comes first. Data comes first, though. Every company is becoming a data company, and that's a known fact. More and more jobs are associated with data-first assignments. Founders launch new data-centered startups. Big tech companies create internal data AI tools and then open source them. And for every established technology or product, a new one seems to emerge weekly. As we have witnessed in 2021, AI developments in the past 2 pandemic years brought us to the next level in vaccine research and development, accumulating geospatial data for enabling autonomous driving cars and taxis and improving road safety, processing huge amounts of complex data sets with the power of quantum computing, content creation and rolling out pre-trained multilingual language models for direct translation without using English data, applying computer vision, machine learning, deep learning, and other AI disciplines to conversation challenges around the world, saving species, preserving artifacts, and building a more informed, sustainable, and resilient future. And you may have been involved yourself in the AI for Earth program by Microsoft. Last but not the least, making data analytics mission critical for managing operations, improving productivity, and defining future strategies. We witnessed a shift from big and clunky data and monolithic data lakes to, and this is the list that really fascinates me where we are today. So the shift to accessible, interpretable, reliable, actionable, and consolidated data. To building data infrastructure and teams in a decentralized way to provide data as a product, and by doing so, increase the speed of operation. To standardize key business metrics and to create a unified system in order to deploy, monitor, and govern all models. We also see the rise of real-time data streaming, processing, and analytics across pipelines and repositories that enables us to simultaneously receive meaningful insights. All of this strongly contributes to the ongoing developments on blockchain and to the creation of Metaverse. What comes as a big concern is the diversity of data, its authenticity, and the inclusiveness of models for the orchestration of fair decisions. The technological discrimination, for example, in AI hiring tools, facial recognition, and credit scoring systems, leads to the identification errors or the lack of fairness in decisions it makes. It reflects and further entrances long-standing social divisions that are deeply entangled with racism, sexism, homophobia, settler colonialism, and other intersecting oppressions. The gap will keep on widening every day unless we put an effort into redefining our business metrics and models using anonymous yet representative data and incorporating the code of ethics. To give you a visual example, imagine the Grand Canyon. About a month ago, I saw the Grand Canyon actually for the first time. Wow, it is so impressive. I visited its western part that, if you know, it's owned by the Hualapai people. And Hualapai people, they're Native Americans who own the land. And I'm not sure if you've ever seen their seal, but it touched my heart. As well, it gave me hope that by bringing diversity inclusion to the spotlight in AI, we can ensure a more fair, respectful, and ethical future for us all. So let me read a part of it out loud for you. You can follow me on by reading the slides. The Great Spirit created man and woman in his own image. In doing so, both were created as equals and dependent on each other in order to survive. The connecting of their hair makes them one person, as happiness cannot be achieved without each other. In my data allegory, the hair represents data, working on it all together. So to bridge the DNI and AI gap, that wide Grand Canyon, as I call it, and facilitate a more inclusive approach, one working with data and models should always be guided by AI ethics and keep on searching for the right model approach to limit bias or prevent them from spreading. Easily said than done. I understand that, but there are also always ways to kind of try, right? If you work with data and models and analyze data and lead to making decisions, the questions that I find very important to ask yourself at any stage is how to collect data that is representative across different groups yet, and yet data stays anonymous. How to build algorithms and solutions for fair, inclusive decisions, and how can AI be used for the betterment of people and planet. And only by acting with diversity, inclusion, ethics in mind, we can ensure that our data is diverse and the AI-driven autonomous future is inclusive of all people. And whether it's on Earth, on Mars, on the Moon, I think being respectful to one another and accepting one another and just work on it all, awesomeness, amazingness together is what makes the world a better place. Thank you. I'm open to your questions now.